12 is what we think of when we say linear programming. Problem 12 and 13, they're going to take a lot of work. Let's kind of go through it and we'll see what we come up with. Number 12, food and clothing are shipped to victims of a natural disaster. Each carton of food will feed 11 people, while each carton of clothing will help 5 people. Each 25 cubic foot box of food weighs 40 pounds, and each 5 cubic foot box of clothing weighs 20 pounds. The commercial carriers transporting food and clothing are bound by the following constraints. The total weight per carrier cannot exceed 24,000 pounds. The total volume must be no more than 9,000 cubic feet. Use the information to answer the following questions. How many cartons of food and clothing should be sent with each plane shipment to maximize the number of people who can be helped? All they want you to do is type in the blank. The number of cartons of food is blank cartons. The number of cartons of clothing is blank cartons. The worksheet that I typed up for this takes you step by step through the things you need to do to solve this problem. So with this worksheet, as I read my question, food and clothing are shipped to victims of a natural disaster. Each carton of food will feed, in the blank, I'll put 11 people. While each carton of clothing will help 5 people. Each 25 cubic foot box of food weighs 40 pounds, and each 5 cubic foot box of clothing weighs 20 pounds. The commercial carriers transporting food and clothing are bound by the following constraints. The total weight per carrier cannot exceed 24,000 pounds, and the total volume must be no more than 9,000 cubic feet. I'll just go through the little handout with this. Use the information to determine how many cartons of food and how many cartons of clothing should be sent with each plane shipment to maximize the number of people who can be helped. I'm going to go to the solution part. What are the resources? That question is about what do we have at our disposal to make these deliveries. We have the amount of weight the airplane can carry and the amount of volume the airplane can carry. So the resources, the weight, and the volume. Now there are some restrictions on this. For the weight restriction, the maximum weight that we can put in the airplane safely is 24,000 pounds. And the volume, the maximum volume, is 9,000 cubic feet. The products, that's what we would like to ship. What are we trying to ship? Food and clothes. So the product, food and clothes. The next question, I have recipes. In our previous material that used linear programming, a lot of the problems were about making a food item, and they would give us the recipe for the item. So I've just stuck with calling it recipes. What are the recipes? Food, really the question is, how much of the resources does the food use up? 1 carton of food is 25 cubic feet. That's the volume. And the food weighs 40 pounds. So every carton of food we ship will take up that much space, 25 cubic feet of space, and it's going to weigh 40 pounds. It'll add 40 to reaching that maximum 24,000. The clothing, each carton of clothes is 5 cubic feet, and the weight is 20 pounds. So these questions here at the beginning are really just to help you decipher the problem. How many people are helped with each product? Each carton of food will feed 11 people. So for food, that's 11 people. And clothing, that is 5 people. What are we being asked to find? We're being asked to find how many cartons of each do we send to help the most number of people. What are we being asked to find? How many cartons of food and cartons of clothing do we send?